I love that they have like the white person on the left, like pointing it off. That's like saying I saw the photo.
My name is Laura. I will be your safari guide for the next 2 weeks as we travel through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now, I do have one very, very important request before we get started here, and that is to please stay seated at all times, keeping our hands, arms, feet, and legs inside at all times as well. Now, not only is that super important that you stay seated for your safety, but also for the safety of the animals out there. Speaking of animals, there is a game spotting guide located directly above your seat that will help you identify some of those animals we might be able to see out there. Now, I can't guarantee that we're going to see all of them. It's actually very difficult to see all of them. But we're going to go ahead and do our best spotting as many as we can. Now, also, before we get started, make sure that your cameras are on some sort of sport or action mode if it does have one of those, because the reserve does not allow me to stop for every single animal that we do see out there. We want to make sure we get the best pictures possible. Also, make sure that you have a firm grip on those cameras and other valuable items, because it does get a little bit bumpy out here on the reserve, and the reserve does not allow me to stop for anything that does fall off of the truck. Now, in just a few moments, we will be entering the Harambe Wildlife Reserve at the Little Ituri Forest. The Little Ituri Forest is home to some of the more shy and camouflaged animals, so make sure we have those game spotting eyes open and ready. It looks like we might have found our first couple of animals over here on the right-hand side. There's one coming along the other side of the bush there, a taller animal with zebra-looking legs. Now that is an okapi. Okapis might look like they're related to the zebra, but they're actually more closely related to a giraffe. Now there's also a smaller, darker animal, a little bit further in front of those okapis, kind of camouflaging himself behind that bush. That is a yellow backdiker. The yellow backdiker has a yellow patch of hair that will stand straight up on top of its back. Whenever it gets frightened, then it will dive into the vegetation around it to help hide from their predators. Now, if you keep your eyes open on top of this hill by this watering hole, you might be able to spot a black rhino up there. And we are going to be getting a little bit closer to that black rhino, but just keep your eye on it. Black rhinos are very, very rare. There are less than 5,000 of them left in the entire world due to poaching. These beautiful black rhinos are being poached for their horns, which are highly valued on the black market. Looks like there's another one that just went right behind that wall. But let's go ahead and get a good look at this one right here. Those horns that they are being poached for will grow about 3 to 6 inches every single year. And the black rhinos themselves will grow to weigh up to about 3,000 pounds. Now, if you'll notice along the hill here on the right-hand side, there's quite a few dark animals that look a little camouflaged. Those are bongos, also known as the ghosts of the forest, because as you can see, they are very rarely seen. Both male and female bongos have horns, so if you're looking at a bongo with little to no horns, it means you are looking at a baby bongo. Their horns also grow backwards to help them go a little bit faster. All right. Well, looks like we're having some really great luck as we are just getting started here. And we're going to hope that good luck continues as we make our way down to the Safi River. Now, the Safi River is home to some of the largest animals in Africa, the hippopotamus. And just because they are some of the largest doesn't necessarily mean they are the most easily spotted. They both spend a lot of their time under the water, so we'll make sure that we keep our eyes open on this water, see if we can find any of those hippos. Looks like there are a couple just at that island's edge right there. A little bit difficult to see, but I do know that there's another part of the river coming up on the left-hand side where we'll probably have some better luck. Yeah, it looks like there are a few of those hippos just right behind that island there hanging out all together. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. Yeah, it looks like we sure will. There are quite a few of those hippos hanging out all together, right back behind that island over your left-hand shoulder. Hippos can weigh up to 5,500 pounds. Also, you can see a few of them are completely submerged under the water, and they can stay like that for about 5 to 8 minutes at a time. They'll also come up onto the land at night and eat up to 150 pounds of grass every single night. It looks like we are coming up to a pretty scary bridge up ahead, so make sure everybody is staying seated for me. And whoa, scary it is. Check it out on the left-hand side down there. Looks like we found some Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles can reach up to 20 feet in length and up to 10 miles an hour on land. Everybody seated back there. Everybody seated. Everybody seated. Everybody seated. Thank you. We don't want to be cracked food, trust me. Now those massive jaws of theirs will exert about 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch, which is just enough to crush the bones of their prey. Now we are coming to a different part of our reserve. We're going to notice a little bit of a landscape change up ahead. But I already noticed something that looks a little bit different to me, and that's this tree right here. This is a baobab tree, also known as the upside down tree, because as you can tell, it kind of looks like its roots are growing upwards. The baobab tree can survive those hot Africa days by remaining completely leafless for about 9 months out of the year. We've come to my favorite view of the entire reserve, the Savannah Overlook. The savannah stretches for hundreds of miles, and we will be making our way right around this savannah. So if you do see some animals in the distance, we will be getting a little bit closer to them in just a few minutes. The savannah is home to some of the more popular animals, like giraffes and elephants and lions. Now if you look just right up on top of this hill on the left-hand side, just right behind those bushes, you might be able to spot a very large antelope laying down. See if we can see him right through these bushes one more time. Yeah, just right through this crack in those bushes right there. And that is a Patterson's eland, one of the tallest antelopes in all of Africa. A fully grown Patterson's eland can reach up to 6 feet tall at the shoulders and weigh up to 2,000 pounds. Now, as we're driving through the savannah, you can tell that the landscape is shaped by the animals who live here. So the elephants will come and knock down these trees and eat them. Giraffes will come and clip the underside of these trees to let some light shine through. And zebras and smaller antelope will mow down this grass. And in a balanced ecosystem, there's enough food for everyone. Now get out those cameras, everybody, because I think I spotted some of our favorite animal over here. Looks like we found a reticulated giraffe hanging out right by that tree stump there. Now you can tell that that is a reticulated giraffe because of its spot pattern. The reticulated giraffe gets its name from the Latin word reticulata, which means net, describing the net-like structure of its coat. Those smaller antelope hanging out there with the tan coats and white bellies are springbok. And those springbok get their name from the fact that when they are frightened, they will spring up in the air repeatedly. Now, believe it or not, those little springbok can reach between 10 to almost 11 feet in the air when they spring. And we are going to be making our way right around this circle here, see if we can find some more animals out here. Looks like we sure will be able to. See a lot of dark brown colored antelope out here, and those are sable antelope. Sable antelope are the emblem here at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and like the bongos, both males and females have horns. Looks like we're gonna get a little bit closer to one of these giraffes also. Now this is a Maasai giraffe, a little bit different from the reticulated giraffe we just saw. And you can tell because its spots are very irregular, a little bit jagged along the edges. Oh yeah, just stop right there so these people can take your picture. Perfect, thank you. Oh. Now giraffe spots are a lot like the human fingerprint. No two coats are exactly the same. Now check out on those bushes over there. You're gonna see some gray colored animals laying down. Those are white-bearded wildebeest. White-bearded wildebeest get their name from the Afrikaans word meaning wild beast, and they are the largest group of migrating mammals in all of Africa. Now laying down right in between this tall grass right here, kind of looks like a deer. I always think it looks like a reindeer. That is a water buck laying down back there. Water bucks have very oily and greasy skin that makes it easy for them to come in and out of the water to help hide from their predators. When it rains, it's almost like that water buck has a raincoat on. Now we are making our way to Monkey Point and heading on towards elephant country. Up ahead on the left is known as Monkey Point because it's known to house a colony of mandrill monkeys. So make sure that we keep our eyes open for any mandrill monkeys we might see. They are the largest kind of monkeys in all of Africa. You can see right up on top of that rock, you can see one of those mandrill monkeys hanging out right there. And another one a little bit further back. And also on your right-hand side, you're going to be able to see an African elephant on the outskirts of elephant country. So a great view on both sides of the truck right here. Looks like there's another mandrill just right in between those bushes a little bit further back there walking along. A male mandrill monkey can reach up to 100 pounds in weight, while a female only about 35. Let's see if we can get up a little bit closer to that elephant. Looks like we sure do. Not exactly his best side, but pretty close here. You can see that elephant flapping its ears around, and it does that to help cool its body temperature down. Airwaves will flow along the back side of elephant ears, and they can cool their body temperatures down by 15 degrees just by flapping their ears. And you can also see some hay or mud or dirt up on its back. And that elephant puts that up there themselves using their trunks because they do have very sensitive skin. So they use it as a sort of sunblock. And we are going to be making our way right on over into elephant country. But I do know that there is a pretty tricky bridge up ahead, so make sure everybody is staying seated for me. We're gonna go pulley-pulley over this bridge, which is Swahili for very slowly. Whoa. Whoa, everybody hold on. Everybody hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Oh, looks like we're safe. Whew. Thank goodness, that was a little scary. Let's go ahead and find some elephants. Looks like we have entered elephant country, and you can tell because of these test marks in the clay right here. Elephants will dig their tusks into the clay to get some minerals that they need, and it looks like there might be a baby elephant hanging out there on the left. Baby elephants, when they're born, will weigh about 300 pounds at birth. And the pregnancy of a female elephant lasts about 22 months. Humans are the greatest threat to these elephants. Elephants are still being poached for their tusks that both male and female elephants have that are made of ivory. Right around here we can usually pick up a radio station, so let me see if I can find it. Oh, I don't think that's it. There it is. And wow, check out this view over here on our left-hand side. Looks like there are a couple more elephants coming up from the other side of those rocks there. Also coming up on our right-hand side, we're going to see some very large animals with even larger horns. These animals are Ankoli cattle. And those horns of theirs can reach up to 6 feet in length. Those horns might look extremely heavy, but they're actually hollow, only containing blood vessels that help act as an air cooling system. Now it looks like we found an island full of greater flamingos over here. Greater flamingos get their pinkish tint from their diet. They eat brine shrimp, which contains beta-carotene, which will turn those feathers from a little bit of a light gray to a light pink. Now, as much as I hate to leave those elephants, we're going to go ahead and keep going, see what else we can find. I believe we are entering white rhino territory. And it looks like I am right. As we turn this corner, we are going to see just that. A couple of white rhinos up here.
Sorry, that's right.
White rhinos can grow to be up to about 5,000 pounds, a little bit bigger than the black rhino. But like the black rhino, they are also unfortunately being poached for those horns. Those horns are being sold on the black market. Now, those ruthless poachers are well financed, and it's always been a constant battle. They're even being poached on some of Africa's most well-known reserves. Now it looks like we might have found the largest kind of bird in the world as we're coming up here on our left, the ostrich. As you can see, ostriches do have wings, but they remain flightless. Yeah, I'm talking about you. All right, let's keep our eyes open out here, see what else we might be able to find. Looks like the truck up ahead of us might have spotted something along this hill on the left-hand side. So let's see if we can get up there. Oh, I think I spotted him too. If you see laying in the grass right up on top of this hill on the left-hand side, you're gonna see a few cheetahs. You can see about 1, 2, 3 cheetahs, it looks like. They are the fastest land mammals in the entire world, reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Up ahead of us This is a copy, which is usually a great home for a different kind of big cat. The lion, and it looks like we might have found a couple of lions right up on top of this copy up here. Looks like there is a female lion, and then just right behind her, looks like there's a male lion laying down there. We are going to be making our way right around to the other side of this copy, so maybe we can see a little bit more of that male lion up there. The lioness will actually do a majority of the hunting in the prides, while the male lions will stay home and take care of the cubs. Looks like there are a couple more white rhinos hanging out over here. And also with the white rhinos are a couple of antelope that you might not be able to recognize. The lighter colored antelope are scimitar horned oryx, which were once almost extinct in the wild, were brought into a reserve and are now being released back into the wild. Now we're hoping the same thing happens with those little guys a little bit further back, a little bit darker in color. Those are Bontabak, which are extinct in the wild. Looks like there's a better view of that male lion resting right behind the lioness right there. Lions do remain inactive for about 18 to 20 hours a day. So that is a pretty common sight to see if you do see a lion. Up ahead of us, it looks like some burrows are here, and it looks like we might have found some warthog who might have made those burrows. Warthogs are the largest burrowing mammals in all of Africa. And they use their sharp tusks and their snout to dig those holes. Looks like we might have found some ostrich eggs on the ground over here in the sand. There must be an ostrich around here somewhere. Looks like there's one a little bit further up ahead. But check out this view of those white rhinos there. You might be able to tell that the white rhinos aren't actually white. They get their name from the Afrikaans word "wyd," which means wide, describing the wide structure of their mouths. Here's another ostrich hanging out over here on our right-hand side. Now, although ostriches cannot fly, they can reach speeds up to 40 miles an hour on land. Now we are entering a part of the reserve that's being used to reintroduce some animals back into their natural habitat. And if you look just right up on top of this hill, and it looks like there might be some on the right-hand side too, you'll be able to see some of those animals. They are addax. Addax are a desert antelope, meaning they can go long periods of time without drinking water. An addax can actually go basically its entire lifetime without drinking water. They will get all the water and moisture that they do need from the plants that they eat, and they will store it up in their horns. Those horns of theirs can hold water and can reach up to 5 feet in length. Now we did see quite a few of those addax out there, but there are less than 300 of them left in the wild. So they are almost extinct in the wild, and they're also considered to be the next animal population to go completely extinct. Now we've heard that word extinct a few too many times out there, and we know that extinction is a bad thing, and it is forever. Once an animal is extinct, it is gone for good. So we all really need to get out there and do our part. So whenever you get home from your trip to Africa, hop on the computer and check out some local conservation projects in your area. They are always looking for volunteers. You can even do something such as make a small donation, but any little bit helps. Now these gates up here do mean that we are coming up on the end of our 2-week journey. I don't know about you, but the past couple weeks kind of flew by for me. But I hope we all had a lot of fun out there on the reserve. I know I did. Was that anybody's first safari with us? Yeah? Oh wow, quite a few new people. But we have some pros, we have some people who have been here before. Yeah, well, you pros can definitely vouch for the fact that no two safaris are ever the same. So I definitely encourage you all to come back and see us again. We're gonna get a different view of some of those animals we saw out there. Maybe get a chance to see some of the ones we didn't get to spot. But hopefully you won't get a different driver, right? All right. In just a few moments, we're gonna be getting the all clear from the warden to dock at this warden's post. Now, if you are interested in seeing some more animals, located really close to us is the Pangani Forest Exploration Trail, right up the hill at the exit and to the right. There's some silverback gorillas, some reptiles, some rodents, and an underwater hippo viewing area, if you want to get a little bit different view of those hippos. Well, here in Africa, we don't like to say goodbye to our new friends because it is far too sad and final. We want to see you guys again, so instead we use a Swahili phrase, kwaherini, which means to go well. So kwaherini, everybody.
Kwaherini.
Once again, my name is Laura. Thank you all for choosing Kilamanjaro Safaris, because when it comes to safaris, we go wild.